All right, Khan. Khan, shalom, shalom, family. First and foremost, I want to give infinite praise, infinite honor, and infinite glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. I want to jump into this lesson real quick. It's an important lesson. It's a very, very important lesson. Many people may not have heard of this effect, but it's a very true and very real effect, and it happens on a day-to-day basis. And it's something, as Israelites, we need to correct, right? So we're going to touch on it. We're going to go into it. Zion, let me get you to pull up the book of Ephesians, chapter 2. And we're going to start at verse 1, just so that people know what we're talking about and what we're getting into. Ephesians, chapter 2. And we're going to start at verse 1.
You want it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Calm. This is Ephesians chapter.
I'm sorry, Philippians.
Oh, slug.
Yeah, see that? I'm glad you. Yeah.
Con, this is Philippians 2, verse 1. It says, if there be therefore any consolation in Christ, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercy, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being one accord, of one mind.
This is a problem in the nation of Israel. We see this from time to time, not only on a big scale, but on a small scale too, even in camps. We see this in camps. We see this in a broader scale where camps is beefing against camp. They're not like-minded in the same spirit. We are always trying to find a way to divide and say one is better than the other. That is a big issue, and it trickles all the way down into our households and how we treat our family members and our loved ones and then each other in the camps. It becomes a very big problem. This is a really big problem. It can be fixed. It's a small fix. It can, you know what I'm saying, to where we can get these things fixed and start moving towards more important things, man. But, self-development, character development is always going to be needed because we have been in this captivity for a very long time, and we've been destroyed as a people, and we've been destroyed mentally, right? Mentally and physically. So we got to learn how to get back with it. Shalom, family. Shalom. So having the same love, the same mind, like mind, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Go ahead.
It says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
Now, this is now, y'all brothers and sisters that's been in the nation of Israel for some time, y'all see this. So I'm preaching to the choir. Brothers and sisters that may be new to the truth, they may not see it, but on a larger scale, this is exactly what's going on, where it says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. And this is what's happening. Brothers is beefing with each other. There's strifing. There's glory. There's our vainglory. There's vanity. There's a whole bunch of bickering. And this is happening in bigger camps that are representing Israel. And it trickles all the way down to the small camps, which trickles down into the households, and it trickles down into the individual. So we are having a very big problem. This is a big problem. They call it a national emergency. This is an emergency, and it needs to be fixed in us. The Bible tells us we are the light of the world. We are the example on how people should be behaving, and we're not setting that example as of right now. We're not doing that. So read that for me one more time.
It says, Philippians chapter 2, verse 3, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
How many of us is doing that? How many people is esteeming others better than themselves? Who's doing that? We don't see camps doing that. We see camps beefing. And again, it trickles all the way down into the homes, the household of the family members. They start picking that spirit up. They start saying that I'm saying, look at the works that I'm doing. Look at what's going on. I tied that shoe type of attitude, type of behavior. This is exactly what's happening, man. And it has to be stopped. We've got to correct this. It says, let others, Salakia. It says, let each esteem others better than themselves. This is an actual effect. And I want to go into this effect, and it's called the Pygmalion effect, right? Where we're going to go into what a Pygmalion effect is and how it affects us and our behavior, how we see one another, because that's what it boils down to. And it actually boils down to on how you see yourself. Because if you had a good self-respect and a good lowliness of mind of how you are and where you come from, these things wouldn't affect you. So let's get into it. I wanted to play this video. Actually, let's get the definition first. Let's get the definition first. My bad. What a Pygmalion effect is. We're gonna get into it.
This is the Pygmalion effect. It says the Pygmalion effect, also known as the Rosenthal effect, is a psychological phenomenon where higher expectations lead to improvement in performance.
Higher expectations lead to performance and improvements. So when I have a higher expectation of a brother or a sister, it leads to their performance. They will perform better over time because I will set them up to perform better. I will set them up to, because I see how their potential and what they are capable of, I'll start setting them up for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that needs to be placed in the nation of Israel. That needs to be the stand, like the common understanding, like that needs to be in us, right? Let me get a little bit more on this Pygmalion effect. I thought you had another definition. Can you get the other? I think it was another definition.
It says,
okay, go ahead. Did you have something?
I think it was this one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, let's do that too. Because I talked about how it trickles down into our household, our family, and it trickles down into our body. This is plaguing us as a people, right? Go ahead.
It says, anyone ever heard of the Pygmalion effect? In short, if you have a belief about somebody, i.e., doubts about my significant other, says they will leave me eventually, it will cause you to subconsciously behave in the ways that will increase the probability of that belief to become a reality.
Which and overall leads into a self-fulfilled prophecy. Because you believed it, you set them up to leave. You set them up to want to leave, right? You're not esteeming others better than yourself. You're not doing that. And this is talking about what is the Pygmalion effect in love. So when you're dealing with people, your loved ones, right? Oh, they ain't about nothing. You know how men and our thought process is men love darkness rather than light, the Bible say. We have a wicked imagination. We automatically go to the negative instead of the positive. That's what we have a tendency of doing. We go straight to the negative instead of the positive. So instead of going to the negative about somebody, why don't you pull out the positive in them, right? Why don't you start seeing the positive in them, like see their potential and what they can be in a good light instead of a negative light, right? Instead of saying, oh, he ain't about nothing, or she ain't about, she always gossiping, she always doing that. You set them up to do it, believe it or not, subconsciously. You set them up to do it. So we have to retrain. It says renew our mind. That's part of renewing our mind, right? So I want to read this part right here. I got here on my phone because it also goes into an opposite reverse effect. But go ahead and read just all of this real quick.
It says the Pygmalion effect. The Pygmalion effect is a psychological phenomenon where the higher expectations lead to improved performance. Someone holds a belief.
Hold on. It said higher expectations lead to improved performance. You have a high expectation either about yourself or about someone else, and it leads to improved performance, right? They start to improve in their performance. That you have a higher expectation about them and about somebody else or about yourself, right? Go ahead.
Someone holds a belief or expectation about another person's potential.
All right.
those expectations influence behavior.
It what?
It influences
It
behavior.
influences behavior. It influences their behavior. Your expectation about them influences their behavior. Go ahead.
More encouragement, attention, opportunities. The person performs better, often meeting or exceeding the expectations.
It said what?
It says often meeting or exceeding the expectations.
Read up a little bit more. You said there.
It says the person's performance performs better. It says the person performs better, often meeting or exceeding the expectations.
So when you have this expectation, this belief about them, they exceed it, right? They exceed it. So why not do that? We all want to see everyone succeed and strive to get to the kingdom. I hope we do. If you're not, then you need to examine yourself, right? But if you are if you're an Israelite indeed, then you're going to want to see your brother and your sister get into the kingdom of heaven by all means. Moses had the spirit that he said, blot out my name, right? So that they can get into the kingdom. That's the kind of spirit that we need to have towards one another. But go ahead.
It says it is opposite of the Gollum effect.
The opposite. So the Gollum effect is opposite of the Pygmalion effect. Go ahead.
Where low expectations result in worse performance.
And this is where we're at now. This is where we're at. Where a lot of our people are in the Gollum effect, right? Can you pull up a picture of Gollum? Can we do that? Because this is what people look like in the spirit. They look like Gollum in the spirit, man. Off of Lord of the Rings, man. You could probably type that in Lord of the Rings too.
Gotcha.
So this is the Gollum effect, but yeah. Pull up some images. Pull up some images of Gollum, man. That's what people look like in the spirit, man.
Yeah.
They got the Gollum effect, man. This is what's going on. They got the opposite effect of the Pygmalion effect. They got the Gollum effect. They want to see their brothers and sisters fail. So this is what they look like in the spirit.
Yeah.
Right? That's probably what we should have touched on more often. Like we should have put that as a as a thumbnail, man.
We should have put this on thumbnail. That'd be good.
Man, people got that Gollum effect, man. They want to see the opposite. They want to see them fail. They got expectations of them doing poorly and bad. This is what they got. Right? That's not good, man. Right? So read a little bit more. Read that about the Gollum effect.
It says it is opposite. It says it is the opposite of Gollum effect, where low expectations result in worse performance. Self-fulfilled prophecy.
So it's worse expectations. Low expectations result in worse performance. It's a self-fulfilled prophecy. So let's pull up what a self-fulfilled prophecy is, just in case people don't know. But it's basically a belief about yourself or other people, and they have a tendency of fulfilling that prophecy that you have set up in your mind for them. So this is all about renewing our minds and how we see each other. It's cool and it's easy to say, hey, let's say Deuteronomy 7:6, for we are a chosen people above all people on the face of the earth. That's cool. But then when it comes down to reality in real life, when it's actually time to rehearse it, teaching it is one thing, but actually doing it in homes is a different thing. When it's time for tests, when you've studied enough, did you pass the test? Like a lot of people, when we get put to the test, when it's time for test time, a lot of us don't pass those tests. I've been in a situation to where I've taught a class and then the very next day I got put to the test and I failed it. There's times where I passed it too, though. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to start being able, a lot of us has been there 2, 3 years, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years on up, and we're still not passing these tests. You're being put to the test and you're still not passing them. These are character development tests that's testing your character and how you're supposed to be. Are you going to see your brother and sister in a positive light or in a negative light? What kind of self-talk do you have about them behind closed doors? What kind of self-thought do you have about them behind closed doors? Right? And then it's gonna show, you know what I'm saying? If you have a negative self-thought or self-talk about them, it's gonna show. You're not gonna be able to hide that. Right? Let's get that real quick.
It says a self-fulfilling prophecy is a belief or expectation that, by influence behavior, ultimately causes itself to become true.
Often ultimately causes itself to become true. You've influenced behavior, right? Either in a person or in yourself. And you set yourself up or someone else up for ultimately cause itself to become true in reality, right? I told you this was going to happen. This is a bad situation that we have in the nation of Israel. We are not doing these things in our homes, in our personal lives, in camps, in the nation, man. Should have called this a national emergency, right? Because this is something that's been ongoing. It's repetitive. We keep seeing the same things, you know what I'm saying, playing out. Camps beefing and fighting over things instead of coming together behind closed doors and really trying to resolve situations like we're supposed to as a nation, man. Nations don't move like that.
Mm.
You see nations going behind closed doors. If we have an issue, come together and let's talk about it. This is what I see. This is what I don't like. These are things that I do like. Let's see where y'all stand, right? And then when it comes to family, right? We got the pointing of the finger. When the scriptures tell us, put away the pointing of the finger, right? We're quick to do that instead of looking at ourselves and what I did and what I can do better, right? Right. So let's get back to Philippians chapter 2 and read verse 3 again for me. And then we're going to get into that video.
This is Philippians 2, verse 3. It says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
Right. Because when you don't do this, you start violating laws that the Most High God have set up. If you don't do this, you start to violate laws that God has set up. You start to end up finding you could start ending up finding yourself hating your brother or your sister in your heart, right? So let's not do that. So let's go to the video, Bob Krisha.
So maybe y'all can hear this. I don't want to say.
Technical difficulties. We're going to get it.
Here we go. I'll praise.
One person to believe in you. All you need is one person to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. There's a psychological phenomenon called a Pygmalion effect, which means that we will rise or fall to the level that people around us think is possible for us. So if you have someone who believes in you and who pushes you to be better, stay close to that person. They will make you better. If you have people who do nothing in their lives, who talk down to you or who are negative and don't believe in you, avoid those people like the plague. They will ruin your life because you become who you spend the most time with. And sometimes the only thing standing between you and your potential is someone who expects you to reach it.
Okay, Salakia. Okay, so How many of us actually want to really truly see our brothers and sisters the best version of themselves, right? How many of us truly want to see the best version of themselves, not ourselves? We want to see that, of course, but what about them? Do you really want to see the best version of them? You know what I'm saying? Your belief is going to come through your words and ultimately going to come through your actions. Because if you do, you don't even have to prove it because you've already proved it by how you're behaving. But if you don't, you can say it all day and not believe it. And you'll start showing the opposite of it. You'll start saying things or showing them like, man, you know, you keep messing up. You start doing that. Then you don't want to do that. This is not how we're supposed to behave, man. But ultimately, it does come down to we gotta start checking ourselves. We gotta start examining ourselves in the long run, and wanting to know why I have an issue with this. Why do I have an issue with not really wanting my brothers and sisters to be the best version of themselves? You really gotta truly examine yourself, and you're gonna have to be honest, and that's scary. That's scary for a lot of us to start to be honest with ourselves, because it starts getting bad. Now you start feeling bad, start feeling guilty, right? You start feeling guilty about it. You start feeling hurt. It start being, people don't like pain. You know what I'm saying? The truth hurts, and that truth is going to hurt you. That truth is going to start hurting. I spit a little bit.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? So let's get Sirach chapter 3. I want to get this in the GNT, Baba Kishar.
On the GNT?
Yeah, in the GNT.
Sorry, what?
Sirach chapter 3. We got a lot to work on, man. I ain't saying all of us is going to get it, but at least a good portion of us could. Start at verse 11, Baba Kishar.
Gone. This is Sirach chapter 3 and verse 11 in the GNT. It says, your own honor comes from the respect that you show to your father. If the children do not honor their mothers, it is their own disgrace.
Keep going.
It says, verse 12, my children, take care of your father when he is grown, when he grows old. Give him.
Salaki, I apologize. Okay, Sirach chapter 10. My bad. Sirach chapter 10
straight
and verse 28.
This is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 28. It says, my child, keep your self-respect, but remain modest.
So a lot of people don't have a problem having self-respect, but some people do. Some people, that's something that people need to work on, having self-respect. Some people don't, right? But on the other hand, you'd be surprised how many people that do have a problem having self-respect. It says, keep your self-respect. A lot of us, you see our men and our women acting out like animals out there in the streets. They don't have self-respect, man. There's no shame, right? But it tells you, says, keep your self-respect. Go ahead.
It says, my child, keep your self-respect, but remain modest. Value yourself at your true worth. There is no excuse for a person to run himself down.
Mm-hmm.
No one respects a person who has no respect for himself.
No one respects a person who has no respect for himself. This is important to understand, that you have to have a level of belief in yourself, that you believe that you can do it, right? So believe in yourself. Go ahead.
Poor people can be honored for their good sense, and rich people can be honored for their wealth. If someone is honored while he is poor, think how much he will be honored if he becomes rich. If somebody is despised while he is rich, think how much more he'll be despised if he is poor.
Mm-hmm. So
if he becomes poor.
Okay. So humility and self-respect. We got to have those things. Those things, you don't want it to leak over into pride and arrogance, right? You don't want these things to leak over, because you will start having there's no modesty, there's no lowliness, there's no humility, there's no, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll start leaking into you believing that you're better than your brothers and sisters instead of esteeming them better than yourself. Right. So then you have a pride issue. And then that's when it goes into the book of Sirach, chapter 10. Let's get that. All right, was you already in there?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get 10 and let's go to verse, what is it? Verse 7.
It says, Sirach chapter 10 and verse 7, arrogance and injustice are hated both by the Lord and people.
And so pride, arrogance, and injustice is hated before both God and man. Go to verse 12, 13.
This is Sirach 10 verse 12. It says, Sirach chapter 10 verse 12, pride is the beginning when a person abandons the Lord, his maker. Pride is the fountain pouring out sin.
Pride is the fountain pouring out sin. So you're going to have a very hard time even being able to uplift or esteem your brothers and your sisters because you have pride. So you don't want to have pride. You don't want that self-respect or self-belief to pour over into pride. Now you're too prideful to ask for forgiveness. You're too prideful to ask for help, right? That's not what you should be doing, because the ultimate goal is to be able to esteem others better than yourself, better than yourself, better than who you are, who you believe to be. Really desiring to have my brothers and sisters to have to be the best version of themselves, right? That's something to meditate on throughout the week. Truly meditate on it. If you love yourself, you should love your brothers and sisters more than that. You should want to see them at the best version of themselves, right? What you done on that?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get down. Did you go to 13?
Oh, no. It's like it says, Sirach chapter 10 verse 13 in the
Let's read
GNT.
12 again.
Yes, sir. This is Sirach 10 verse 12 in the GNT. It says, pride has its beginning when a person abandons the Lord, his maker. Pride is like a fountain pouring out sin.
So pride is the beginning when a person abandons the Lord, his maker. When you leave off from fearing the Most High God and keeping God's laws and having faith in Christ, you've abandoned him. And that becomes the beginning of sin, because you start to feed your own belly. You start to think that you have your best interest at heart, when the Bible tells you not to lean onto your own understanding, right? And choose his ways. So we have a lot of self-examination to do. And I pray, man, I really pray that these things don't just go in one ear and out the other. I think I might start doing challenges at the end of these lessons, just so brothers and sisters can put these things to the test, man, because this is very important, man. You get into the kingdom of heaven by having faith in Christ and the works that you've done. The works that you've done, your heart is going to be put to the trial. They're going to be, the Most High God and Christ is going to be seeing who your character really is. Did you really love your brothers and sisters? Right? And this does plague the men, but I've seen it plague women more. And I hate that for our women. I do. And I really don't fully understand. I have somewhat of an understanding, because America gives the woman the power, and she feels like she's feel like that's her role that she's supposed to do. So it's just a hard role reversal. You know what I'm saying? It hurts to be able to see yourself in a lower estate than what you have been told you were. Bible puts everything in order. So, and then on top of that, men got to step up and start getting into their role. And men have a hard time doing that too. You believe it or not. Some men have a hard time because we don't know where to start. Right? We might think it's being aggressive or being You know what I'm saying? A lion in your house, like the Bible say. And then we start stepping over boundaries. We start making a really bad moves and really bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? End up wanting to put our hands on somebody because we feel like that's what we're supposed to do as men. That's not what we're supposed to do. The Bible don't teach us that. Right? So, did you have something?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did you finish that? For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abominations. That's something to think about. Pride pouring out abominations. That's tough, man. Right? I'm reading from a KJV version, but I don't know. No, you said you finished that out?
This is GNT. No, I did not finish that.
Can you finish that out for me?
It says, Sirach 10, verse 12 in the GNT. It says, pride has its beginning when a person abandons the Lord, his maker. Pride is the fountain pouring out sin, and whoever persists in it will be full of wickedness. That is why the Lord brought terrible punishments on some people and completely destroyed them.
Right. Because of pride. Because of pride. Because you viewed yourself better than your brothers and your sisters. You didn't esteem others better than yourself. Right? So I pray that. Oh, let me get one more scripture. Let me get Sirach chapter 11 and verse 2 in the KJV. Bible Kushai.
In KJV.
Yes, sir.
Sirach 11.
These are not just words, man. I really pray, brothers and sisters, again, really take heed of how you view your brothers and your sisters actually have an effect on them. Right? So let's just say, you know what I'm saying? It's judgment time in front of the Lord. And he's like, okay, let's see how you actually truly felt and viewed your brothers and your sisters. This is the time right now for us to view how you've seen them. Did you esteem them better than yourself? Or did you see them less than yourself? Right? That's a terrible thing, man. You're going to have to take account for that. So I pray that we don't have that situation happen. But go ahead.
This is Sirach 11, verse 2. It says, commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance.
Right. So it's telling us how we're supposed to view our brothers and sisters. We're supposed to view them the same way the Most High God views them. So if you got somebody that you're like, I can't really find nothing, it should be spiritual instead of physical. That's what it should be. Their character, what good traits they got. Right? Esteeming them better than yourself. Even if let's say you can't find something that you just can't do it. You know what they're supposed to be. You know they're supposed to be in above all people on the face of the earth. They're supposed to be a loving people. They're supposed to be a people that shows great reverence towards one another. Right? You can pull those things out. Pull out those scriptures, man. Right? Meditate on that. You know, I see this in you. I see that you can reach this. The Bible tells you that you can reach this potential. And I know you got it in you. I believe in you. How much more would that make somebody feel? That just made me think of, what did it say? It say kind words is better than gifts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Let's get that real quick, because that's something that needs to be brought out more often too. This is just things that we're just not doing, man. We're just not doing it. And we see it on a big scale. You see it on these big major camps. They're just not doing it. And they're going to find every scripture not to. Every scripture not to do this. And that's going to be on them. Right? Oh, can you get that whole chapter though?
Yeah, in the GNT?
Yes, sir.
I think so.
Yes, in the
Yeah.
GNT. I said that whole chapter, but that whole.
Yeah, the little part.
I think it's self-examination.
18 and 15, I think. Okay,
Yeah, that's it.
This is Sirach chapter 18, verse 15. It says, my child, when you help someone, don't reprimand him at the same time.
So you helping them is by telling them about themselves, like you esteeming them better than yourself. Read it for me again.
It says, my child, When you help someone, don't reprimand him at the same time.
Don't reprimand him at the same time. Don't try to pull him down. Let's get that word. I want to make sure I'm saying that properly. Reprimand.
It says a reprimand is a formal or severe expression of criticism and disapproval, usually given by someone with authority for a wrongdoing.
So criticism, or what was the other word?
It says
Criticism or
disapproval.
So criticism or disapproval. So don't criticize them at the same time when you try to do help them. When you try to help them, don't criticize them at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like you always wear, I hear, man, I'm here to help you with your tire, man. Why you always wear? I always see you in those pants, man. You know what I'm saying? It could be something like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Like, why don't you change your pants, man? Them pants, hey, man, you build it. You're not even building. You're trying to build them up and tear them down at the same time. But at the end, you can say that it's trying to help them. You know what I'm saying? But it's not.
She's just mad.
You're just mad, man. So you don't want to tear them down while you're building them up. These things take meditation. You have to meditate on these things. All right, let's get back to it.
This is Sirach chapter 18 and verse 15. It says, my child, when you help someone, don't reprimand him at the same time. When you make a gift, don't say anything that hurts.
Don't say anything that hurts when you give a gift. Go ahead.
Your words count for more than what you give.
Hey, if y'all was just in the class before this, that's what they was talking about, alms and giving gifts. When you make a gift, don't say anything that hurts. Right? Read verse 16 again.
It says, your words count for more than what you give.
Your words count for more than what you give. Right? It counts for more than the gift that you're giving. That helps your charity. Right? Go ahead.
It says, even do give some relief during a spell of hot weather.
That's something to meditate on. You know what I'm saying? The Most High God, he is merciful even when it doesn't seem like it. It tells us that what does it say? I'm roughly paraphrasing that he's punished us less than what we deserve. He's punished us less than what we deserve. Right? So he's still merciful, man. He's not just brutish. He's not brutish like that. He's not brutish like that. We would be, right? That's not how the Most High God works. And we're the children of God, and we're supposed to imitate God. He still gives a spell. He still gives dew. It says, even dew gives some relief during a spell of hot weather. Go ahead.
It says, yes, kind words are more effective than the best of gifts.
Read that again.
It says, yes, kind words are more effective than the best of gifts.
Man, you uplifting their spirit. You got a sparkle in their eye now because of the words that you've given them. That's something that's going to carry a lot longer than a gift, than a tangible object. The words that you give are better than the best of a physical gift, right? Go ahead.
And if you are really concerned, you will give both.
If you're really concerned, you'll give both. Go ahead.
It is stupid to be unkind and insulting. No one's eyes are going to sparkle at a gift you resent giving.
Man, so this is important. So Lord willing, again, brothers and sisters, meditated on this and really got the understanding behind of what I'm trying to tell and what I'm trying to put down. We've got to exalt each other better than ourselves. If we started just doing that, stop worrying about you. It takes a level of maturity, and this is what we are called to do. We are called for maturity, to mature, to show maturity. You getting hit by bad words, hard things that's happening to you in your life, get hit and get back up and keep giving kind words. That's maturity, and that is very hard to do. Let me get Sirach chapter 2. I think the brothers, I don't know if they went over that, but Sirach chapter 2.
It's kind of crazy.
Sorry. In the KJV. Yes, sir. It says, verse 4.
This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee.
It says whatsoever. It can be harsh words. It can be you physically and spiritually got punched on. You got punched in the stomach, and then you got punched by some bad words, right? Your breath stink, or your teeth look like they look. Why do they look like that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It says whatsoever is brought upon you.
It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Take cheerfully. This says, a just man falleth 7 times and gets back up. How fast can you get back up? How fast can you get back up? Or does it take you a big time to get back up? Does it take you months to get up? Does it take you weeks? You got days. How fast are you going to get back up? Right? You got to get up quick. And then eventually, you're going to get up so quick that you're going to get hit, and then you're just going to stand there in the spirit until the pain goes away. And then keep taking it cheerfully. Keep pushing. Keep giving kind words. This is what Israel needs to see. This is the type of men and women. This is the type of men and women in Israel, believe it or not, that God has called. This is who y'all are. Right? Whatever is brought upon you, take it cheerfully. And what?
It says, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Right, because he's coming, man. He's coming to lift you back up. You ain't going to stay down there forever. Right? Did you have something? I thought you had something.
I got this definition of bigger person.
Yeah, that's good. Let's do that.
This is definition of bigger person. It says, being the bigger person means choosing maturity, empathy, and self-control over reacting with anger or pettiness, even when provoked.
When provoked. So, listen, this lesson is going to be here for y'all. This is why I chose to do it on video, because I've done it in person and in a camp a few times, and this is going to be here, Lord willing, when y'all need it. So hopefully y'all did get some information from it, whether it been the Pygmalion effect, whether it been the video, whether it been the definitions, whether it been the scriptures, that y'all cleave onto it and actually start using it and applying it in your life, because you don't want this to stain your reputation, that you have a hard time not seeing the goodness and esteeming others better than yourself. So let's not do that. Did you have something? Hey, so with that, I'm going to end by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua, Shalom, Barakatah. Peace and blessings, man.
Shalom, Barakatah.